Good morning, neighbors. We're on day 13 of our April on the homestead, and today we are going to talk a little bit about soil compaction and kind of not in the big farm sense of, you're driving your big tractors, not that. But still, when you walk, if you have a traditional in-ground garden, you're still going to walk and paths, and those are going to get compacted. And then, growing in those paths are not the easiest. That's why a lot of commercial growers are going to have kind of mounded beds in there, and they always have the same paths beside. And then at the end of the season, or every time you flip your crop, they're going to add a layer of compost just to the raised bed part, and they're going to leave the part where you walk through alone. Like, they will never plow that to plant in there or anything. One way to help, Iowa doesn't need it as much. You grow up there in the north. I could joke all the time, you can just throw a tomato outside and you have like tomato plants next year. You can't do that as well here down in the south. So down here, there's a red dirt clay. You definitely need to be amending your soil every season. Every season. Don't think, oh, look, it's all pretty now, I don't have to do this ever again. Every single year. This is why I advocate for composting your own scraps, because then you can have your own compost. You don't actually have to go buy it every single year. If you can split it with a friend, that's great. But if you can get into the habit of not putting things that are organic in the sense of they came from the earth, they should go back to the earth. If you can get into the habit of putting those things in a special pile out in, beside your garden, get all the clippings from whatever you have, just toss them in a pile. In the very beginning, just toss things in a pile. If you live in something small like an apartment, get some worms and do vermicomposting. It is simple, okay? It is not complicated. Don't make it complicated. Just grab your stuff and you put it in a bucket. We'll talk about that later. But outside, everybody wants to just say, oh, just add peat moss to it. Peat moss is a great for making the soil fluffy, but that is not something that you want to buy and bring into your space, your homestead, every single year. Pathways should always be have wood chips added to them. That's going to help keep in the moisture and everything like that. You can do it with grass clippings if you're just going to put those in the aisles. On your beds, you're going to want to add some, grass clipping and stuff like that, maybe at the end of the year, and get those kind of, I'm going to say, stirred in, because you don't want to till the stuff. But getting compost in it every single year, that's going to help make that soil fluffy, and it's going to help add nutrients to that soil. If you can get some biochar in there, you're even doing better.